2016 China-Britain Trade Expo is being held at Queen Elizabeth II Centre. Today, business leaders and trade advisors are gathered here to explore high-value opportunities. The event starts with traditional Chinese theatre play to capture the auspicious mood for the China-UK Golden Decade. 20 speakers from both China and the UK address some key topics, including doing business in China, negotiation in China, and how to market and sell in China. The speakers have mentioned one unique common strategy many times, which is using the Chinese social media. We had a chance spoke to Gemma Clark from Tango Teaser, a British innovative hairbrush brand being hugely notable for young Chinese customers on social media. Gemma shares her experience with us.
Believe it or not, it's only been 4 years, but China is now our biggest global market. In 2010, we began to receive some orders through our website from Chinese nationals living in Beijing or Shanghai or Nanjing. And so we began to realize there was an opportunity in the China market. And then something wonderful happened in 2011 when the famous Chinese supermodel and actress Liu Wen blogged about Tango Teaser, and suddenly we were flooded with orders from the China market. And we predict that within 2 years, roughly 20% of our total revenue will come from China.
It isn't always easy for foreign companies to hold their ground in China. Mr. Jing Bo from Changkun Graduate School of Business described a different scenario.
I think I started with very bad news. A lot of companies failed in China. My message is basically the following. Even though it's difficult in China and there are reasons why some companies failed, during my presentation I also shared there are also successful companies who entered China. So even in the same industry, in the same sector, there are both failure cases and also successful cases. So that shows that it's not about China, it's about how you enter China. So they are the right formula that you can enter into China successfully.
From a very basic perspective, a lot of companies now are very aware that China is an important market and a market that they need to be kind of entering, but just have no idea where to start. What do they do? A couple of common mistakes really. One is not dedicating enough time and energy to the Chinese market and to Chinese digital marketing. They might just think it's easy enough just to set up like a Weibo page or Weixin account or something and then just produce some content and magically they'll get hundreds of thousands of followers and many more sales. It doesn't work like that. You've got to develop a strategy, you've got to come up with content plans, you've got to understand who it is that you're talking to and then crucially analyze how you're doing and react to that.
According to Attract China research, brand reputation, company story, and product exclusivity are the top 3 factors that influence the purchase decision of Chinese consumers. A key question now will be how far the latest foreign aspirants are prepared to enter China, and what is the key to open Chinese market?
I think for the foreign company to be very successful in China, they really need to localize it, meaning that they need to trust the Chinese management is capable of bringing their business successful to China. Because this is a time that the Chinese business has learned from Western multinational company in the past few decades. And then on top of that, they can leverage their local understanding and their learning in China, understand the Chinese consumer behavior. So this combination is incredible and it is crucial for the foreign company to be successful in China.
That meant when we were thinking about the China market, we had to position Tango Teaser slightly differently. And then when I was traveling, when I went to Shanghai or Beijing, and I tried to understand why our Chinese customers were buying Tango Teaser, when we first started, we were not doing it particularly well. Originally, we were using a British company to manage our social media content in the China market. And basically all we were doing were using our content, which might be pictures of fluffy dogs or some of the British sense of humour, and trying to use that in China. But actually we learned very rapidly that the Chinese use social media slightly different and that the sense of humour is slightly different as well. A young girl in China might be looking for on social media she's much more thinking about buying a product and she wants to know where is there an offer, where is it being promoted, rather than what's the weather like in Britain today? Isn't it awful? And one other thing we're doing is adapting our brushes for specific occasions. So Singles Day was a huge success for us this year. We sold something like £5 million worth of brushes. And we're also thinking about special brushes for Chinese New Year. This year, of course, was the year of the monkey. Next year, it's the year of the rooster. So adapting our designs to really appeal to the China market.
The China opportunity is there for the taking, and there are certain relatively simple but effective strategies to take advantage of that opportunity, whether it be on social media, whether it be e-commerce. There are core routes to market that can be exploited in a very easy way.
I think the China-Britain Trade Expo fills a very important void at the moment, looking at conference exhibitions that happen in London, focusing solely on China and the UK. It follows on perfectly well from the state visit that happened in 2015, which was very, very successful. So what we plan to do with the event over the next few years is run an annual event over the next decade, capitalising on the golden decade of trade.
This is Chen Zhang reporting for Propeller TV in London.